Haley's gonna be late.
She's gonna be late. She's in advising to do classes.
Important things.
Yeah, I said the important things.
All right. First of all, welcome to Clark College Media. We're glad you took time out of your schedule to meet with us today. And today we're going to have a preview for the men's and women's basketball team, the 2013-2014 basketball team. And what we'd like to do is start off by having the coach introduce themselves and then the student athletes introduce themselves and tell us where they're from. And then we'll go right into the questioning. All right.
Okay. Al Aldridge, formerly at Prairie High School, second year here at Clark College, coaching women's basketball.
I'm Andrea Smith. I graduated from Prairie High School.
I'm Nikki Bond. I graduated from Battleground High School.
Brooke Bowen. I graduated from Skyview High School.
And we're missing one other captain, it's Kaylee Grossman, and she's from Battleground High School as well. These are our 4 sophomores, our leaders.
Floor is open for questioning.
Everybody else is a freshman, you got 4 sophomores? That's
We have 4
it?
sophomores, yes sir.
And how many freshmen are there?
1, 2, 3,
Oh, sorry.
6 as of now, yeah.
So what's the difference going into year number 2 versus last year being the first year?
More opportunity to recruit and recruit the kind of kids that I wanted to get in terms of position players and character kids, team-oriented people, family-oriented people. Just more time to take care of getting to know kids before they came on campus this year.
Sure.
And we have a great group, very academic-minded, which last year's team in some ways was not as academically minded as this group, but a lot of those pitfalls are pretty important in terms of maintaining eligibility through the course of the season. So we're happy with these kids' emphasis on academics, and they know they're not going forward as women's NBA players, most of them anyway, so they're interested in getting their academics in order.
With this year's recruiting class, how does that change what you're going to do on the court?
You know, because we had time to recruit the kind of players we wanted, we're not really changing anything this year. We have, I think we have more skilled players in the positions that we need in order to do and accomplish what we want to accomplish offensively and defensively. So we're going to do the same things we did last year, try and play fast, shoot a lot of threes, probably be able to do more pressing this year than we had last year because we have a little more athleticism. And I think we just have better skilled players at the things that we wanted to do. So.
At a 2-year school, it kind of becomes your program, I guess, faster than a 4-year school. It's kind of, how does that work? Or
I'm not sure I understand.
I guess it seems like, you know, it's already, all your players are kids you're recruiting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Yes. So that, you're talking about the comparison from Prairie to here? Or
Right,
last
so.
year to this year?
I guess I'm not sure exactly. But
Okay.
I'm just thinking at major colleges they talk about, well, it takes 4 years before a guy's not coaching the previous coach's players and stuff. But.
Right. Well, not necessarily true in a 2A, obviously, because 2-year school, because
Right.
the kids that I inherited have all graduated and moved on. And so the kids that I have remaining are kids that, a couple of them that we had on the team last year. And basically, we're starting all over. Yeah.
And obviously you put an emphasis on local kids. Really.
Well, a couple of them fell in my lap. To be honest with you, Brooke and Haley fell in our laps as excellent local player kickback kids that were away at school and came back to finish up their second year here in town. So we were very fortunate there. But yes, we've tried to have a good balance. Last year we had kids from Los Angeles. Well, we do have a kid from Hawaii this year, so I can say, you know, a little further away. We'll have one that's really from a long distance, but yeah, we have a nice mix, I think, of local kids and kids from out of town.
So you represent 3 local high schools up there right now. What's it like to sort of, do you remember playing against each other? Is it different now that you're
Play with each
teammates?
other for a couple-
Yeah, we actually did play with each other. I played with Brooke for 2 years at Skyview.
Okay.
I played,
AAU.
yeah, with
basketball.
Andy, so
Yeah.
I've known
We've
all these girls
played,
for a while.
Actually, I think all three of us, or all four of us at one point, all played, not all
Yeah.
together, but we've all played on the same AAU team. And then Nikki and I were on the same high school team for 2 years too, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So those connections make it easier to get into the flow to play together?
It definitely
Yeah.
does. It brings back memories, you know, me playing with Brooke for 2 years.
Yeah.
It definitely, you can see that connection out on the court. And me and Andy, you know, from AAU and then from last year as well, we definitely have a connection, and that helps. And with Haley Grossman, I played 2 years with her at Battleground, so that definitely helps with the connection and
Yeah.
knowing how each of us play and like what we can and cannot do, and you know, just different
Yeah. I feel like also-
aspects on the
yeah.
court.
And I feel like also like from playing against each other, we all know how competitive each of us are
Yeah.
too. So we all know our competitive level, like our competitiveness level, and so like we all know how we act. We all know how we act on the court. Like at least us 4 sophomores, the freshmen are still kind of adjusting, and we're adjusting to them. So we're all adjusting to each other and learning how we play and all that. And
Yeah.
so
It's exciting to get to know how the freshmen play and how we can adjust to them and how they can adjust to us and form together as a team.
And Andy and I competed against them in high school.
yeah,
In high school, yes.
that's great.
Does the rivalry stuff go away right away when you get here? It's like, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's goes right out the window.
You know, ladies, a lot of people out there make assumptions about what happens at community college level. All of you played at excellent programs around here. What do you think of the level of play in NWAC?
Personally for me, it's faster. I wasn't the fastest guard in high school, so I definitely had to, you know, up my weights and weight training and stuff to get more faster. I had to cut weight as well because I couldn't compete with this level if I didn't. So that's a personal thing for me. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean, I haven't played in this conference yet, but I have played at the Division II level at Seattle Pacific last year, and that was also a really, you know, it's a lot more fast paced, and you know, the competitive factor, it's like, I mean, it is more fast paced. I haven't played at this level, but I'm sure it's not that much different because it is college, and so you have all those good players coming out of high school, and so I haven't played yet, but we'll see how it goes.
And what is your reasoning for coming back to Clark from Seattle Pacific?
I didn't feel that the school was the right fit for me, and so I decided to come back and finish my second year here closer to home and, you know, live at home, save some money, all that. And so the school wasn't the right fit for me. I liked basketball, I liked all that. The level was fine, I enjoyed it and stuff, but the school just wasn't the right fit, so I moved back. But I'm really enjoying it here so far, so.
We're happy to have
Yeah,
her too.
I actually really am enjoying it here, so.
Coach, a futuristic question. There's been some talk about the possibility of Clark bringing all of their programs into the southern region of the NWAC. How do you feel about that for women's basketball?
Well, I personally, I would like to stay where we're at. I just think that if our goals are to compete, be in the top 4 every year, get to the NWAC tournament, that we have a better opportunity to be successful staying in the West. And less travel, less of that long distance to SWAC. Familiarity with the teams that we've been playing against, getting to know those coaches, those styles, I think is important too, and not having to start all over again with a whole new conference of teams to play against. I think that gives us a little bit of an advantage with where we're at. So I would prefer to stay if I had a choice.
Any matchup either the girls or the coach have sort of circled on the calendar?
We have not really even discussed the stuff yet.
No.
All right.
We haven't got that far. We've been, we had 2 scrimmages against Division III schools, and we're just working hard for 2 weeks here until we open in Yakima next week, and we really haven't sat down and talked about our league schedule, and probably won't for a while, but our non-league's pretty tough. We have Clackamas and Walla Walla. That Yakima tournament, we're going to see Blue Mountain, Yakima, possibly Whatcom. And we'll see those same 3 schools in a crossover tournament too in Centralia before we even get to league. So we have a pretty tough preseason, and we're just trying to get ready right now so we can jump into Yakima looking for some success right away and keep it going from there. So I'm sorry, we really
No, that's fine.
But Lower Columbia and Centralia are obviously the teams to beat in our division. We know that.
Okay.
And Clackamas is probably going to be one of the strongest teams in the South, and Walla Walla is going to be 1-2 probably in the East, and Whatcom is probably going to be 1-2 in the North. So we have all those teams preseason, and I like our chances against them. I really do.
Coach, you've gone from coaching student athletes for 4 years to now only having them for 2 years. What have been kind of the pros and cons of those experiences?
Well, actually in high school, I had them probably for more like 8 years because most of the kids were coming through our youth program.
Okay.
And so it's been an adjustment, and I've had to make some changes, and more importantly, I think that you don't have the personal attachment. I could get to know kids as youth players. They kind of, when they come to high school, they knew what they were getting into with me. They knew what to expect. They knew what the intensity levels were going to be like. It was, for some kids, a kind of culture shock. The expectations are very high, and I'm a perfectionist, so, things are probably never good enough in their eyes and probably never good enough in mine, but it was easier in high school. And the starting over every year, hopefully we're going to retain our group of freshmen this year, and so we have less turnover next year, and we have that leadership continuing. But our sophomores this year, Andy and Nikki are returning, so we're counting on them for some leadership. But Brooke and Haley are coming from Division II schools, and so they can kind of elevate us and give us a perspective of that next level too. But I'm sorry, I'm off topic here a little bit. It's different. There, how's that? All that to get around it's different.
So you say you've been kind of focusing on the preseason and not too much on league. What are maybe the top 3 things you're looking for out of your team development-wise?
We're better right now. Learn stuff and get to play together. I know that Brooke touched on it, and I think our biggest thing is getting used to each other. So we're refining our offensive movement, spending a great deal of time on our pressure and our defense. The 3 biggies. So we want to kind of control tempo, and the teams we've been playing right now have been taking us out of tempo, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to deal with that aspect when teams are taking it away from us. So we want to play fast and teams are making us play slow. That's how it goes.
Okay, well, I'll take 2 more questions. One from the Independent, I like the Cadmus, well, maybe 3 in the Columbian for the student athletes. So maybe 3 questions, each directed at student athletes, and then we'll move forward to men's basketball.
I can say just for you, 3 girls, what's sort of like, the team goal this year, and then sort of like, what would you like to see, the team established this year out there?
You want to answer that? How about you guys answer first, since you guys played last year?
Honestly, for me, I personally have not won a championship ever, and obviously Al and Andy both have experience in that level, and Brooke as well last year, senior year. And so me, I just want to win an NWAC championship, and I want us to all enjoy it, and I want the freshmen to have experience with winning an NWAC championship, and we just need to figure out little puzzle pieces how to get there, and that's what we're doing right now.
I would say that's like my goal for the team too personally is like, I think it'd be really cool to win the NWAC, and I think that we have a lot of potential and we have a lot of good players, and I think that we have a good chance of getting to that point of winning the NWAC. We just have to, we still have a lot of learning and like coming together and playing as a team, which I've noticed has improved so much since the first scrimmage to the second scrimmage. Like I saw so much improvement in everyone and all of us together, and even in practice every day from the first day of practice until now. Like I've seen so much improvement in everything. So
We have to stay healthy too.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's really important.
Yeah.
definitely.
We have more depth than we've had before. You know, we're gonna be able to run 10, 12 players, a lot of playing time, and so, but we can't afford to have our key players getting hurt, so it hurt us last year quite a bit early.
For those that haven't played for Al, how do you feel about the coaching staff as a whole?
Well, I'm a local kid, so I knew how Al was coaching wise. You know, I always played against him, so I knew what I was getting myself into. I definitely had to adjust, but we've definitely worked on it. I know at the end of the day, like Al cares about all his players, and he makes that very clear. So I kind of knew what I was getting into.
We have a Camas girl. You're from
Yeah, that's
Camas, February?
Sarah Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her.
Sarah
I saw
Brown.
her name on the roster before I came down here, so.
So make sure you knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's not all battleground and.
And so what we'll do now is we'll let the student athletes, the women's basketball team will go out in the hallway, and hopefully they'll be available for the next 20 minutes. And then if there's any follow-up questions, we can have them available. And now we'll move forward and thank the student athletes and the coach, and we'll move into the men's basketball. Thank you.
Thank you.
What about the food? The kids are on.
We'll have food.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck.